Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and today I'm going to tell you guys who is going to have the Cinderella Transits for 2024. There we go. Who's going to have the Cinderella Transits for 2024? You guys ready? Okay, here we go. So what's a Cinderella Transit, man? Okay, like, whoa, what's a Cinderella Transit? Well, here we go. There are some transits that don't happen very often that have the potential to dramatically change your life, and it's they call them Cinderella transits, and it's like rags to riches. It will dramatically change your life in the positive. At the same time, these Cinderella transits involve the planet they involve Chiron. And and remember, Chiron in astrology is associated with pain. So sometimes these Cinderella transits are associated with a bit of pain and triumphing, over that pain. Okay, so you guys got it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but like with most things in astrology, if you're able to overcome some of the adversities, there's a positive and a negative to all this stuff. And I'm talking about the positive today, the Cinderella transits. Tomorrow we'll talk about the really negative stuff that happens. And once again, when you tune into the live stream, and you see me do this stuff all the time. All right, you guys ready? So what's a Cinderella transit? A Cinderella transit's a transit involving Chiron aspecting certain other planets in a particular way, and that will absolutely change your life. Now, I'll read what it says right here. Special Chiron enhancement linkages are Chiron to Venus, Chiron to Jupiter, Chiron to Neptune, Chiron to Pluto, and Chiron to the Sun. It's also, it doesn't say it here, but it's also Chiron aspecting a midpoint of Jupiter Chiron midpoint. There you go. Those are all the Cinderella linkages. Now they have to, so the transiting Chiron has to aspect that by conjunction or trine. And that's how it works. It can do some of the other aspects if you want. There's also a little bit more to this. It can aspect it in other ways in the declinations, but we're not going to worry about that today. All right. Next. All right, next. So what's so tricky about this? I'm going to show it in the chart. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to show it in the chart. I'm going to give you an example and tell you what's going on. And then at the end, we're going to go through the dates. Now, before we get to any of the dates, I'll let you know, when you look it up, Chiron's an interesting kind of situation here. It says Chiron has an irregular orbit, right? It goes, right, of approximately 50 years. It stays in a zodiac sign for approximately 4 years. All right, next. Okay, it also says, which means it's very likely you'll share your Chiron placement with those in your peer group. Okay, whatever, man. All right, next. And again, this one here says what I've been telling you guys. Ultimately, a Chiron placement will reveal how you transform pain into power in your life. Next, Chiron takes about 4 years to move from sign to sign, although it spends 7 to 8 years into Aries and Pisces, and only 1 to 2 years in Virgo and Libra. You guys got that? It's not really that stressful. Like, you're going to look it up. We're going to look at the chart right now, and you'll see what's going on. So why is this so blah, 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 blah? Here, I'll show you. Oh, check it out. I wrote it down for you guys. It's right there. It's Chiron conjunct or trine, for today anyways, your natal, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, Neptune, or Sun, or with the Jupiter Chiron midpoint. Cool? All right, now, how do you know this is such a big deal, Sunny? Okay, so once again, Chiron moves very slowly. And when we use this, right, when we animate it, we're going to animate it in a sec to do the year. You'll see that it moves very, very slowly. Well, right now it's moving slowly as it transits Aries. All right, now here's the deal. Why and how in this? So just to let you guys know, I actually went through a series of Cinderella transits. I went through a major Cinderella transit last year. I really did. This is my chart on the inside. You guys know I have a stellium right there in Sagittarius, and that's my sun in Scorpio, sun, moon in Scorpio, right? Over here, we have regular astrology, which is Jupiter. And Jupiter is trine my stellium there. Transiting Jupiter, which is a 12-year cycle, is trine my stellium of Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus. You guys got that? So Jupiter, transiting Jupiter is blowing that up. So something's going on with my love and money. Now, right here, that's the midpoint. All right, that's the Jupiter Chiron midpoint, which, you know, the transiting midpoint that we talk about. But I'm not going deep into a major astrology lesson here. I'm just showing you guys. Next, we have Chiron itself at 14 degrees. So these are all conjunct at 14 degrees at this particular time, which was March 11th. It started a little before, right? Applying aspects right around March 11th. And so what happened in my life that you guys know, the Sunnysiders know, that week of March, right? As this is moving through, and these little slow guys are really pumping the rays into here. Well, that's when my mom had her stroke. We were in the hospital, and my mom had an operation on the right around then, you know, at that time. And on the 17th, my mom was dead, right? See, there's a thing in astrology about applying aspects and then the event, and then immediately moving on to the next thing. And that's kind of what happened. So, because the pain kind of stops, right? Chiron is pain. So I went through a ridiculous amount of pain. It was horrible. And people were dying, trying, taking and this and that. It was a really difficult time in my life. And the entire year of 2023 was difficult for me as Chiron went retrograde and started coming back to the wound. And so, but at the same time, my life dramatically changed. In that moment in time, the second my mom died, everything in my life changed. And it was an extremely painful experience, but I'm living in an incredibly different world right now with a different life experience. And if you watch the videos, I'm not even shaving or anything, just hanging out with now. So it's going to happen for you. So there's a lot. That's what it looks like. That's how it works. I know I'm being a little bit cryptic, but this is for the Sunnysiders. Okay, share the video, whatever. Okay, whatever. So that's what you're looking for. So let's go find it. So there we go, March 11th, right? March 11th, this is the clock right here, March 11th. Everything was at 14th, and if we just move forward a couple of days, you can see that when she died on the 17th, right around the 17th, all of these guys are starting to move past the 14th. They've all started to move on. And then by Chiron itself drags ass a little bit for another couple of days because it's so slow. By the 21st, it's gone. So it was a hell of an experience, man. But that's what you're looking for. Okay, good enough. So up here in the upper right, let's get to January 1st. Let's get to January 1st, 2024. And I'll tell you guys exactly who's going to go through these Chiron, this Cinderella transit. Who's going to go from rags to riches? Who's going to transform their lives? Who's going to win the lottery? Right? This is a big deal. It's a Cinderella transit. It's not like being lucky. It's not being lucky. It's going from literally changing your life from one to this completely other thing. All right, so let me get my pen and let's write it down. Okay, so normally we would use an ephemeris, right? But I don't want to use an ephemeris, man. I'll show you what it looks like here. So right here, to start off the year, January 1st, Chiron is going to be 15 degrees Aries, right? So 15 degrees Aries to begin the year. That means if you have, okay, you guys got this? If you have all of those things that I said earlier, if you have your Venus, right? If your Venus, Jupiter, if you have your Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, or the Sun, right? Or that midpoint thing, but don't worry about that. Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, or the Sun at 15 degrees. Everybody with me? It's going direct, right? You can see that it's going direct. It was retrograde for a while. It's going to be at 15 degrees, and it's going to be moving forward. So it's not really that confusing today. So, but it's if you have your Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, or the Sun at 15 degrees Aries, at 15 degrees Aries, at 15 degrees Sagittarius, or at 15 degrees Leo, you guys are going to go through a Cinderella transit. You know, you guys, the Aries, so make sure you buy your lottery tickets. Seriously. All right, let's power through. So you can see Chiron is up here at 15 degrees. Let's shrink this a little so it's easier for everyone to see. Okay, so he's right here at 15 degrees, and let's speed it forward. So we're in January, and it's moving. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. See, Chiron is doing its thing. It's down here. See, 18 degrees Aries in March, right? It's still chugging through. You can see Mercury's going to go retrograde and come back. It's going to be tricky. And then 21 degrees in May. In May, Chiron's going to be at 21 degrees. It's going to be a hell of a year, guys, 2024. All right, so Chiron's chugging through, and then it goes retrograde, right? Chiron's going to go retrograde at the beginning of August. And so if you miss it, if you miss your transit, you're going to get another chance because it's going to go retrograde. It's going to be retrograde. So it also means the wound is returning, right? It's really good to watch out. Some of you guys are going to go through this a couple of times. You might be like really lucky here. I wasn't really lucky. Here we go. And then, oh, I went too far. And then in January, it's going to turn back. So it's going to be retrograde in the fall. In January, it comes back. So it's up. It goes all the way to 19 degrees. Let's move it back so we do the entire year without getting weird about it. 19 degrees. All right. So here we go. Now we're going to go back a little and see how far up it really went. So if you have it 15 degrees, then 19 degrees, towards 19 degrees, and let's back it up a little bit more. Let's back it up. See, it's retrograde right there. It's the red, it's retrograde. So we're going to wait till it gets black, and that's going to be the highest it was for the year. 22, 23, 23. So if you're from 15 degrees to 23 degrees, mine's at 14 degrees, man. I'm out. I'm on the sidelines. Man, I had a hell of a year. 15 degrees to 23 degrees. Fire. Got that? Fire sign. If you have Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, or the Sun, 15 degrees to 23 degrees in one of the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, my brain's gapping, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, then you guys are going to go through a Cinderella transit this year. Do your best. Prepare for it. All right? Don't, don't make my mistake. I was stressed out in the hospital. I didn't get a chance to buy lottery tickets, but whatever, it's okay. That's it, guys. That's the action for this. Wishing everyone the best of a super amazing day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share the video with everyone who wants to know this stuff. Wishing you the best, and I'll see you guys soon.